Hi, today our conversation is about conscious neutrality, how to be the presence of all is well in the midst of chaos. If you're as I am, there is always some type of chaos swirling around. Doesn't mean you have to engage it, but it's there. So today's conversation is about how to be the presence of all is well in the midst of chaos, tension, discomfort, those discomforts of life. Conscious neutrality as an idea came to me in a dream several years ago. I knew when I woke up and wrote down the words that they were very important to me. At the same time, or probably a little before this, I'd come across a quote by Nikola Tesla that said, if you want to know how the universe works, think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. And now I see conscious neutrality as part of that overall process of energy, vibration, and frequency, and how to be the presence of all is well, how to energetically, vibrationally be that state of being that does not get knocked off course because there is discomfort in the field around us. Each of us live and move and have our being in an energetic field. It surrounds us. It was called years ago the morphogenic field. Now it's called, in quantum science, the unified field of consciousness, but we live and move and be in it. And it is always radiating who we are and what we're about. So conscious neutrality, as I've come to see it and define it, is a natural, higher dimensional level, fourth dimension and higher state of being that by its very nature invites a more natural and yet a more highly developed spiritual and emotional response to situations. It is the capacity to be a state of balance, a state of harmonic resonance, regardless of what is happening around you, in the midst of whatever is energetically happening around you in the present moment. As the third dimensional adverse ego, fear-oriented, survival-oriented ego holds, its hold has been diminished. As its hold has been diminished or dissolved, these structures begin, these adverse ego structures of fear and anxiety, greed, jealousy, anger, the need for justice, the right to be seen, the right to be heard. Do you feel the energy there? When we live in that kind of energy field, the capacity to be conscious neutrality in action becomes diminished. So when these old structures, these embedded beliefs and perceptions are transmuted, transformed into higher dimensional energy, it changes the whole reality of who we are. And so it changes the energetic field in which we live and move and have our being. Because higher dimensional levels of awareness cannot hold that old energy. It just doesn't stay there. There's no Velcro for it. It won't be sustained in it. So how we interpreted reality in the past can no longer be how we interpret it now. And as organizations and groups and teams, it's important that conscious neutrality become a part of who we are and who we be. Conscious neutrality engages your thoughts, your emotions, your heart, your mind, your body, your soul in a higher dimensional level of awareness as you discover, first of all, who you really be. Who are you? What are the values that you hold? What moves you? What invites you into reaction or response? When you start to engage in self-observation and self-awareness to become that place of awareness that says, this is interesting. Look what's arising in the field. I don't have to engage it. Anger might be wanting to arise in the field, but as long as I can see it, as long as I can be witness to it, I don't have to be it. if I see it, I don't have to be it. And then conscious neutrality as a practice starts to invite us into how to be comfortable in the midst of discomfort at a 10. I work with a lot of ministry groups, and what I see is that as soon as discomfort starts to rise, the group wants to rush to prayer. Like prayer becomes a band-aid versus just sitting in the discomfort, having a conscious conversation and seeing what really wants to arise, what wants to be said authentically without anger, but just authentically said, transparently viewed. And it's also, conscious neutrality is about looking at the role the brain plays in meaning making as we create assumptions, as we create beliefs, as we create perceptions, and then give them great meaning. We give them great meaning. They mean something to us. And by God, if you go against it, then you have affronted me. And that's not the case at all. We have just given meaning to this belief. And so it's that idea of beginning to look at our beliefs and knowing that they are there for us to view and process through so that we can actually begin to transform and let go of that old those old third-dimensional ego structures. So in ensuing videos, we're going to look at what conscious neutrality is and what conscious neutrality is not, as it engages you as a state of being, engages your whole being as a state of being. And as you work to transform the energy field that you live and move and have your being in, so that you are experiencing more of the infinite possibilities that you were created for. Have a great day.